Hi everybody, I'm Zilla Blitz and welcome to the February update. In this video I talk about things that have played over the past month, talk about how my gaming goals are going for the year, show a few new things that have arrived in the house, give a little bit of news. Also, in the early part of December, I did an upcoming Wargames. We were going to give away a $50 store gift certificate to Noble Knight. That kind of got lost in the end of the year shuffle with new year-end videos and things like that. We're going to jump back into that and give away the $50 store gift certificate to Noble Knight at the end of this video. Noble Knight, by the way, is one of our channel sponsors. They have a fantastic collection of new and used war games. So if there's something you're looking for, chances are they have it. They also buy new and used war games. So if you have some war games that are collecting dust on your shelves, you can email them. They'll give you a price quote for it and you can send it to them. You don't even have to physically go there. They ship all over the world as well. So link is down below. And if you do use that link, thanks very much as it helps support the channel. Before I jump in and take a look at what I played over the past month, I want to do a quick update, a news item. SDHistCon is having their winter virtual conference this coming Saturday, February 8th. It runs all day Saturday and there are Europe-friendly times. It's only $10, so even if you can only make 2 or 3 of the sessions, it's probably still worth it. Tons of presentations and demos on new games coming up. In the middle of the afternoon, Central Standard Time, I'm going to be hosting a panel discussion from Sebastian Bay's group and team. A bunch of people, members from his team, are going to be on the channel. We're going to do a live session. You can sign up for notifications for that. I'll put a link down below. And the topic is professional wargaming. So they're going to explain the differences between commercial wargaming, kind of leisure wargaming that most of us do, and then what they do as professional wargamers. Should be a fascinating discussion. It will be live both at SDHistCon and live at the channel. So if you're watching in there, we're going to have a kind of a panel discussion for 30, 40 minutes and then field audience questions. So if you're watching and want to ask some questions in live, you can type in then. So I hope you'll join us. It's the first time I've done a live event like that on the channel. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to the day at SDHistCon. There are still tickets available. Link is down below in the video description. So if you've got time on Saturday and you want to check it out, I think I heard there's going to be a demonstration of Away Team as well. That alone worth the price of admission. So check out the link down below and you can sign up if there's still space. I think there's still a few spots left. Okay, let's talk about things played in January. If you recall, if you saw the gaming goals video from a month ago, you know one of my goals is 365 plays of games over the course of 2025, including Euros and family games and things like that. And then 5 new games a month. Happy to say both goals for January checked off. I'm really happy with how much time I was able to spend playing games. Quite a bit of it on Board Game Arena asynchronously, but that really works with my lifestyle right now. From a historical gaming perspective, up front, one of the games on the Shelf of Shame Challenge. Excuse me, so I am making some progress on the Shelf of Shame Challenge. Mike from Solo Battles taught me a little bit of how to play upfront. Absolutely loved it. So much fun. Really, really good. And I'm looking forward to playing more of that. Other war games, The Shores of Tripoli, that's like my comfort food. I played a couple of games of that on Rally the Troops and played Votes for Women as well, opposed on the Rally the Troops, which was fun too. Memoir 44, I'm not sure it's a war game. I mean, it is a war game, but it's not like a historical game kind of thing. I'm not quite sure what I feel about Memoir 44. I feel like I get frustrated because I'm always waiting for cards. And I realize I think better players like line the pieces up so they mitigate card pulls and stuff. I'm just not there yet. So I always feel like I want to do something and the game won't let me. So I like it. I'm just not sure it's my favorite game. And I think maybe I just have to level up my play. The Guest of Robin Hood. Played this with Huvian. He beat me as Robin Hood. I haven't played for a while, and I've been doing this thing where I'm trying to play without reading the rules. That sounds bad. I'm trying to play without reading the rules and figure it out as I go along. And I played once before, and I thought I understood how to play, but I had a little bit of difficulties with wagons, and he stole them all. And yeah, Robin Hood won the day. Undaunted, too. That's my go-to game when I've got friends who don't play a lot of games and don't play any war games. And they come over and we play that. It was a great success. So I had a friend come over, we had dinner and played that. And that was really fun. And the rest, mostly Euros. My staple diet right now is kind of Sky Team and then Obsession and Wingspan. Also actually played a little bit of Small World too, which is kind of war gamey, I guess. That was a fun game. I haven't played that since we played a lot with our kids when they were younger. Oh, yes, one more. This is a Euro game, but it's complicated like a war game. Dragons Down. Really wanted to like that one, but I struggled. I think I might need to spend more time with it, but I felt like the rules, I like precision in rules, and I wasn't seeing it there. So it was really kind of, it was a struggle to pull the joy out of that one. I like what it's trying to do though, and maybe the new version with a kind of tweaked rulebook will be better. But yeah, I was kind of disappointed. I was trying to play that one to see if I might want to get in on the Kickstarter. I decided to pass after that. It didn't quite grab me as I wanted it to. To be fair, I need to play it more though. And then some other ones of note, not Wargames, but Earth, Ark Nova, and Arnak were in the list there as well. There's a couple others too, Heat and stuff. So lots of games, but 38 games played. I want to shift more towards historical games, but I'm really happy with how many games got on the table in January. I'd like to talk a little bit now about the future of the channel, numbers for January, and then Patreon support. And those things kind of weave together in this one. But January was usually in these monthly updates, I just give a little quick update on how the channel did. January of this year was the best month the channel's ever had. First time it broke 100,000 views was 150,000 views in January. 800 new subscribers. Thank you to all the new people who have joined the channel this month. It's cool to have a lot of excitement around the videos. I love reading the comments. I have lost control. One of my things I pride on is responding to every comment, and I've lost containment, but I'm determined to get it back. So if you posted a comment like a month or 6 weeks or 4 weeks ago and I haven't replied, I will get there. I will reply to your comment. But the growth has been really fun over the course of January. January is a big month anyway in YouTube because people are home for vacation and stuff. But still, it's fun to finally cross that mark, and to cross it by so much was really cool. Which brings up the question. I always like to mention the thank you for the support of the channel. Patreon members, thanks to the new supporter, Steve McGillivray, who joined about a week or so ago. I appreciate the support, and what it's starting to shift into now, one of the kind of the dreams I've harbored for the channel is to be able to do this more. So I work a full-time job, and then I take a special side contract to kind of make things easier and give enough money so that we don't really have to kind of worry about money and things like that, so we can take vacations and do things like that too. And what I would love to be able to do is to replace the YouTube channel with that contract, because if I could do that, I have 40-hour work week, 10-hour kind of contract on the side, and then I'd spend about 20 hours a week on YouTube. I would love to be able to drop that 10-hour thing and replace it, make the YouTube stuff 30 hours. 10 extra hours a week would be so amazing. And to do that, the channel numbers and the support probably has to kind of double over what it is now. If I could do that, that would be totally awesome. It's a long-term kind of thing, but that's kind of what I'm thinking now of that Patreon support, is to buy time to create more of these. So if you'd like to see more historical content or be part of that, Patreon support is always welcome. And we do have a Patreon Discord, which is where we're playing a lot of the Board Game Academy asynchronous games with members. And we have a lot of conversations and discussions going on about games. Very small community now in terms of there's a Patreon community, and then there's an active Discord part of the Patreon community, which is smaller, but we'd love to welcome more cool people in there. Link is down below if you'd like to be part of the support. Thanks for everybody for all that you've done for the channel too. And some Patreon members have been here for a long time. So that's a channel update, numbers update, future of the channel, all in one thing. And it's time for what's new and in the house. Nothing really. Just kidding. If you saw the previous 4 videos on the channel with this ASL monster collection that I got. And that's kind of funny too. It's like, thank you everybody for the support. And then he goes off and buys this monster collection of ASL stuff. To be very, very clear, it was very affordable. And one of the reasons I realized I could do it was I said, okay, I could get this and I can move this to Noble Knight Games. It's a 4-hour drive from where I am. So I could move this to Noble Knight Games for what I paid for it. I felt very comfortable. It's a good way to test it out almost literally for free and see how I like it over the next year, and then move it on if I decide I want to do something different rather than stick with the ASL world. And don't worry, for everybody that says ASL is a lifestyle, it's not a game. This is not going to be Zilla ASL. There's going to be a blend of stuff. I'm going to be a very slow and leisurely exploration of the ASL content. But if you haven't seen it, I did get a massive collection of ASL stuff. And so it's kind of like, whoops, too. I had no idea. I literally had no idea there was so much in there. It was a very quick conversation. I trusted the person, and I thought there would be like this much, and there was like this much. It was like, wow, that's a lot of stuff. So I'm looking forward to exploring that system, though. So expect some ASL content coming up over the next few months, too. On a semi-wargaming related note, there are a few new things to check out that came in. I decided I wanted to paint a mini. So I got this little mini paint set, Speed Paint Most Wanted set, and some minis here, this little jar of minis, and some brushes, and a few other little doodads. Hist from Hist Studios has been my consultant on this. So just a little side thing. I am going to make a video. I paint my first mini. But don't worry, it's not going to be a minis channel either. I just want to try it because it's fun to try new things. A couple of new review games and modules in from Lock and Load Publishing. The first here is Point Blank Winter Victory. If you recall, Point Blank was one of my top 5 war games from last year, the year before last year. Absolutely like this system. It's kind of upfront, modernized, with a lot of different elements in there. It's kind of a little bit of a lock and load tactics blend to it as well. Really like the system. It's so much fun. And this is their winter module. So there will be a video coming up on this on the channel soon. I'm not sure if that's shipping yet or if this is an advanced copy. I'm not quite sure on that yet, but it's something coming from them to expand their Point Blank system, which is a really fun system if you haven't checked it out yet. Also in from Lock and Load Publishing, Waterloo, Close Quarters Battles, which this just came a little while ago, so I'm kind of looking through it now. It's kind of a tactical level Napoleonic combat game. It looks pretty neat. There's some close quarters combat stuff in here too. Horse and musket era, of course, Napoleonic era. It looks fun. There will be some content coming up on the channel for this one as well. A content creation copy of Pipe Creek from Flying Pigs game. This is Mead's Last Stand. This is the expansion to A Most Fearful Sacrifice, which was my game of the year from last year. So this adds 4 scenarios and cavalry to the Most Fearful, and another nice huge map to A Most Fearful Sacrifice. So there will be some content coming on the channel soon for that one. That's an overview video will be coming up very soon for that one. And then I wanted to show some gameplay with cavalry. So that'll be coming up soon. And then 3 content creation copies of new stuff from Worthington Publishing. The latest Stalin's favorite, Band of Brothers. So another tactical combat system to explore. I've been wanting to explore this one for a while. So I'm looking forward to doing it with this module. So there will be, again, all of these will have content coming up on the channel at some point as their content creation copies. But I'm looking forward to exploring Worthington Publishing's their tactical combat system with that one, that Band of Brothers systems. I think there's 6 games in there, 5 or 6 games in it now. And I've heard a lot of people say really good things about it. So I'm looking forward to exploring that. Also in from Worthington Publishing, Gettysburg, A Time for Heroes, two-player game, very quick playing. I've wanted to explore this system of theirs, and this one looks quite fun. It's not their Brigade Battle Series, is what I think it's called. It's just more of a 2-player game with kind of some point-to-point movement. But I've seen people play this, and it looks like it's going to be fun. So I'm really looking forward to getting a 2-player game going of that soon. Lastly, the game I've seen more people lose on social media is Tarawa. Every time I see someone post about that game, they're talking about how they lost. I'm not sure if a human being actually, I think there was one person who said he won once or twice or something like that. But Iwo Jima is the next game in that series. So I'm expecting to get absolutely destroyed in this solitaire game of the island invasion of Iwo Jima with Worthington Publishing's very cool tactical kind of operational, I guess it would be, tactical level system that's been copied over from the Tarawa system with some rules modifications to freshen it up and kind of make it work for Iwo Jima. So all of those games will have something coming up on the channel soon. Speaking of stuff that's coming up on the channel, I want to kind of show you briefly what's on the gaming tables in the house. There's 2 of them, a studio channel and then kind of a gameplay channel. So let's just, rather than talk about it, I thought I would show you. Let's go to the gaming table and then we'll go to the studio table after that. Here's a quick look at the last gamble. This is the Battle Before the Meuse River scenario, the kind of the shorter scenario on the smaller map here. You can see the German forces now pushing up into the U.S. lines. This is right at the setup. I've just set this up yesterday, so I'm starting to play in now. This will be my first learning game with this one. So excited to check this one out. One of the most historically infused games that I've ever run across, so I'm very curious to see how this plays. And on my other table, I just set this up today. I finished that unboxing that I referred to earlier, and I've got just a training scenario. Let's zoom in on it and take a look here. This is my first attempt to get the rules in play. I've just got a couple of German squads down here in stone buildings, sitting behind this orchard, line of woods here, and I've got 6 U.S. squads here moving in with 2 leaders. And the U.S. squad's objectives is to take these 2 stone houses. I'm not using any machine guns, just using leaders and squads. And so it's kind of just a tactical problem to see if I can get used to movement and defensive fire and first fire and all those things, and maybe some close combat, see if we can get the U.S. forces across here. So just a very basic kind of training scenario. It's not one of the official scenarios to get used to the game a little bit. And then on the other side of the table, I've got Raiders of the Deep and Phantom Fury. I've got these in boxes right now. I've got to use this side of the table to do a couple of overview videos of some of the recent stuff that's come in, and then Raiders of the Deep and Phantom Fury in that order coming back to the channel. While we're talking about things that are on the tables and coming up on the channel, I did want to mention briefly that one of my goals for the channel over the course of the next month or 2 is to get back to more playthrough style videos. I realize there hasn't been a ton of those on the channel of late. End of the year stuff is kind of, you want to make the top ones or top best of 2024, upcoming for 2025, certain things, best games of the year and stuff like that. That's December and January is a good time to make those. But now that it's past that, I want to kind of refocus on playthroughs. It is challenging. That gets back to that whole time thing, because I'm not sure how much time people realize it takes to make a playthrough. Usually it's like 5 hours maybe to open the game, learn it, and play the first scenario. But it's on average 20 hours from the time I open the box to the time there's a published playthrough video, a gameplay video. I really like to make sure I have the gameplay down, so it involves playing the game until I can get smooth at it and thinking about how I'm going to shoot it. And then the shooting and the editing just takes a long time. So I do hope to have more gameplay videos on the channel. There is a number of kind of content creation projects that I'm still working to catch up on. And until I kind of catch up on those, it's going to be very hard to do deeper, long series playthroughs like I did in the beginning of the channel, like the 13 episode Sherman Leader playthrough. Those are really hard. That took like 100 hours, right? So, and with the content creation videos that come in on those projects, there is kind of an obligation and a promise that I've made that I will be presenting some of those on the channel. But I do want to show gameplay from those. Just it's impossible to show deep playthroughs of all of the games that come up, just because of that difference in time between making a video and making a playthrough video. But I do want to get more gameplay videos on the channel and get more playthrough videos on the channel as time goes forward. So that is my goal. So I thought I would talk a little bit about the letter T and how it applies to gaming. It's a letter and concept that I've heard discussed and used to model kind of a person's understanding of a field, like computer programming or history or anything like that. And the rough idea is that the top flat part of the T represents a wide range of knowledge to shallow depth. So you know a little bit about a lot of things. But then what's important as well is that you know a small section of things very, very deeply. So I've been thinking about this a lot in regards to board games. And when I mentioned my goal really for this year is to play a lot of games, play 5 new games a month. What I'm trying to do with this now is to get some breadth to the T, to experience a lot of different games and play them, but not necessarily go that deep yet. But that's not the goal, right? That's not the final goal. Because what I'd like to do over the course as this month goes forward, as this year goes forward, is to start to identify some things that I'd like to go a lot deeper at. And that was kind of one of the thoughts I had with the ASL thing, is that this might be something I want to go deeper into. Now, this could be a particular game. It might be Empire of the Sun, just to get good at it. It could be a system like Coin or Levy and Campaign. So one of the things that I hope to get over this year is an understanding and a desire to I'd really like to become better and get a deeper gameplay experience in a smaller subset of these games I'm sampling. And so I guess that's kind of the curious question that I have is do you have a gaming T? And if so, what are those things that you feel like you've played a ton of that have gotten you to a lot of depth? Now, I know a lot of people say they play like the same 3 games and they play them 100 times. That would be an I, right? And then some people just play lots of stuff and never play anything more than 2 or 3 times. And that really would just be like an I that's knocked over sideways, I guess. It's not really. Anyway, you get the idea. But yeah, do you have a gaming T? And if so, what are those games that go deep? So that's I'm kind of thinking about it. And to kind of put that in preface, so I've been back into board games and war games for 3.5 years now. So I feel like I honestly, I really am kind of exploring this breadth and trying to get depth at the same time. And so I'm really in many ways, that the breadth isn't widely established yet and that depth isn't widely established yet. And I'm hoping to kind of work into that as time goes forward. Realized I just kind of finished that and I realized that might be really weird, but I hope you get what I meant and maybe it resonates with some of you. And now the fun part, we get to give away stuff. They're going to give away the $50 store gift certificate to Noble Knight Games. They're going to press the start button and we're picking people that commented on the November 29th upcoming Wargamings video. This was asking you what your favorite Wargame of the year was. So thanks to everybody who entered into the competition. If you don't win this one, there'll be another upcoming Wargames episode coming out in about a little bit more than a week. And at that point, there'll be another competition, another contest. You can enter into that one to try to win again. Let us press our start button here to get this going. The winner is Kevin A2112. Congratulations, Kevin. If you could put your name down in a comment before or reach out to me at my email address, then we will be able to kind of get that to you. Thanks, everybody, for playing. If you didn't win, there'll be another one coming up in a couple of weeks or so. And with that, we've come to the end. I hope you enjoyed the monthly update. Hope to see you at SDHistCon, or maybe perhaps watching the Professional Wargaming live discussion on Saturday. Thanks for checking in. We'll be back again on another video soon.